Okay. Let's see. So, tonight, I am going live because I had absolutely no time to do a video today, and I've got some updates, I've got some big news. So, my website is finally out. Hey Matthew, what's up? I am introducing today first my website. So if you know anybody that likes nails, then let me see. I'm learning how to do this, so forgive me for being thank you. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Here we go. I think I got it right. Okay, so hey Trina, what's up? I got my website going. So let me see. I gotta do it. Let's see. Let's see. How do I get it? Oh my gosh, I'm like my mother on the computer right now. This is horrible. Oh, here. Duh. Okay. Here we go. So, this is my new website. And oh, congratulations. I've got my 16-year-old is driving in the car and it's stressing me out beyond belief. So, but yeah, I finally launched my website. And so I just was going to do a quick tour and let's see. Oh, let me see. Is that going to work? There we go. Okay, it's working. As you can see, this is the homepage. So I've got kind of a selection of some of my nails. Little description of this and why I wanted to do this. He won't drive in the snow or when his brother's in the car. Oh, trust me, Matthew. Oh my gosh, my snowblower broke too. The primer button broke. So I'm going to have to bribe my kid, my oldest, to shovel snow. The youngest is too short. We're supposed to get like a foot of snow. So, now here, right here, membership's coming soon. This is one of the reasons why I am trying to get to at least 500 subscribers and get some more, like viewing hours, because I want to try and open up memberships at a really cheap price. I'm going to do as low as I can go and offer some membership driven content, sales, also like, you know, tutorials, things like that. So, oh my gosh, the trains. Oh, he's found eBay. So but it's kind of cool because he's all about trying to make money now to try and get new trains. So, and they all go to his dad's house, thank goodness. So I don't have to trip over them. But his room is still full of all of his wooden railway stuff and Oy, now he's got his little brother into it, so I'll never have any money ever. So, um, okay, and to show you how this works, now I know it's a little bit different on mobile, but all you do if you want to shop the products in a category wise is you click the shop button. And on mobile, I think you have to click filters to be able to get to this, but this will give you over here all of the categories right here. I've tried to make them as simple as I can. Some nails fall in both sides, so but right here I just wanted to show I've got some all my Christmas nails are on sale because I was kind of late launching and a bunch of stuff happened. I was running between both houses. I'm still trying to pack up my mom's house, all that fun stuff. So but yeah, so I've got all of these are on sale. I think a pretty good price. I've got free shipping going at least through January. So if anybody needs any little last minute gifts, they all come in either these clamshell boxes or these nice heavy duty necklace boxes. So nice for a gift or whatnot. I also take special orders, and that's something I'll show that I believe I skipped over. On the home page is, whoops, sorry. It's like driving a new car. Right here, get in touch. If you would like to have any kind of custom order or I would custom size you also available. So please reach out. I just need your name, email, give me a brief message, submit. It'll go right to me and be good to go. So now, let's see. So now that that's being said, I'm going to put that on all my social medias. I'll have the website in my channel description. So, and it's scrolling at the bottom if anyone need be. So, yeah. So there we go. Let me just zip this up here. And now I'm going to be going over, I know it's a really weird time of night, so a lot of my true crimers are probably not on, but hopefully you catch me on the replay. I've been following this case, this young girl named Rebecca Park. She was out of Wexford County, Michigan, up in northern Michigan. So if you hold your left hand up, or excuse me, hold your right hand up, basically about where your pinky finger is, in that area is where this crime happened. And she was 21 years old and she went missing, and she was 38 weeks pregnant. She was actually had gone to the doctor the day before she disappeared and had already started to was in preterm labor because she'd been helping one of her friends move some stuff around. So today I happened upon two things that have to do with this. There's some really just wow stuff that has come out about this story. I mean, I'm not easily shocked by stuff, but the more that this stuff comes out, it is just, I can't believe my eyes and my ears. The dynamic in this family and this poor girl, she absolutely didn't have a chance being around these people. It's just, oh my gosh. So first, let me scroll back up. I found an article. It was Rebecca Park's mother allegedly had an affair with her pregnant daughter's fiance before her murder, and so did her sister. So this family is really messed up. I mean, you don't say, right? And so, oh, that's cool. So mom gets to relax. No, you don't have to cook dinner tonight. I like that. Well, so this all started out with this young girl going missing. Her mother started really speaking out on TikTok, telling all these really weird stories. None of them aligned together. Then the pregnant young woman's fiance gets arrested, and he gets arrested on murder, but then the charges are dropped down to a rug charge. And but his bail is like $1 million. And then the sister, Kimberly, gets arrested for what they at first said were unrelated charges, but we'll hear in a few minutes the charges that she ends up getting charged with. They were all in court yesterday. Was it yesterday or today? Excuse me, today. For the probable cause hearing, and they're going to delay it because they want to try and get, the prosecution wants to try and get, they really want, I think, dot their I's and cross their T's and make sure they get this one right, because it is so just, it is mathed up. It's just, that's the only way I can describe it. And so anyway, Kimberly Park, 21, and Courtney Bartholomew, 40, allegedly told deputies investigating the murder of Rebecca Park they were romantically involved with the woman's fiance, Richard Fahler, 43. Oy, okay. So new details about the murder of Rebecca Park and the role her family members are suspected of playing in that crime are being revealed in a series of probable cause affidavits and criminal complaints filed in Michigan court and obtained by People. People is who put this article out. So hey, Michigan's getting famous because of this horrible story on People magazine. So those documents allege that Rebecca, 22, her sister, Kimberly Park, 21, and her biological mother, Courtney Bartholomew, 40, were all romantically involved with the same man, who was also the father of Rebecca's unborn child. Kimberly and Courtney both told investigators with Wexford County Office that they were in a relationship with Richard Fahler, 43, according to the probable cause affidavits. These three individuals, along with Courtney's husband, Bradley Bartholomew, have all been arrested and charged with felony offenses over the past 2 weeks. Kimberly is charged with tampering with evidence, lying to a police officer, and filing a false report. She is currently on house arrest after her bail was reduced from $750 to $5,000. I believe his was reduced down to $10,000. She allegedly told a detective investigating Rebecca's murder that she was in a relationship with Fahler on November 24th, the day before her sister's body was discovered in the Manistee National Forest. The affidavit filed in her case stated, and this admission came 2 days after Kimberly was contacted by a detective when she claimed to have information about Courtney and Bradley's alleged involvement in her sister's murder. An interview just hours after she made that claim, per the affidavit filed in her case, Kimberly told a detective that Rebecca had died from a seizure after being struck on the head by Courtney and Bradley, 47, who she allegedly then called a friend, who took her sister's body and dumped it in a swamp. Oh, we've got a million crazy forests up here. It's a big national forest, and it's federal land, but it was only about, I think it was like 2 miles behind or across from the mother's house. And there was a TikTok video of the mother saying something to someone about betting that she was going to be found in that forest, but it had been searched the day before her body was found there, and she wasn't found. And where she was found, it was pretty obvious. So this story is really just, it's wow. Kimberly told detectives that Fahler had told her on November 4th that he killed Rebecca and that he wanted to protect Kimberly by not sharing details with her. Furthermore, she alleged that Fahler, which is the fiance, told her in a separate conversation that something went wrong while trying to take the baby out of Rebecca, which is why just a few hours after Kimberly was booked into custody, deputies then arrested Fahler on an open murder charge. Investigators ultimately found no evidence to substantiate Kimberly's claims, however, and Failer was arraigned on rug charges and released from jail once Courtney and Bradley were charged with Rebecca's murder. So Courtney and Bradley are biological mom and stepdad. Now, Rebecca or Kimberly didn't have relationships with their biological mother until Rebecca was about 18 and she sought her out. She had been adopted by the Parks family because this mother, Courtney, is an absolute just nightmare mess, okay? And so it's kind of sad because, my gosh, if she had just stayed away, her adopted mother had said that she, really it was against her wishes. She did not think that she should connect back with her mother. And it's just so sad because if she never had, none of this would have ever happened. But in her interview, this is Kimberly, Courtney, in her interview with investigators, Courtney also claimed that she had an affair with Failer. Courtney said that after Rebecca and Failer broke up, she began dating her daughter's ex. According to the affidavit, she told investigators that she was preparing to leave her husband for Failer, but ultimately had a change of heart, at which time Failer reignited his relationship with Rebecca. She also alleged in her interview with investigators that after they split, Failer came to her home with the intention of shooting Bradley and raping her forcefully, causing her to have a miscarriage of the baby she was carrying. Authorities wrote in the affidavits that they learned over the course of the investigation that Courtney had allegedly sent Rebecca a photo of $18,000 check on the day she went missing and informed her it was an inheritance from her dead grandmother. So this is where it pops up now about that she was lured, that, she was getting ready to have a baby, and here this money comes upon her. And if anybody has children, especially when they're firstborn, you need every red cent you can possibly get. So that's why it was believed that she originally went over there. There are text messages from Rebecca to a friend talking about going over to pick up the money. She was not really trustworthy of her mother that she would actually get the money when she got there, but supposedly that she was supposed to get this money and they were going to go have milkshakes together. So that was her plan of what she was doing with her mother. They also discovered text messages Courtney had sent claiming to have given birth to a son who was hospitalized due to early delivery but was returning home soon. So she's laying the story down to tell people, oh, I had this baby, it was premature, it's in the NICU, and so we have a story about why all of a sudden this baby shows up, if it shows up. She had allegedly wrote that the child had died just a few hours after Rebecca's murder. She then allegedly, those texts and cell phone data which placed Courtney and Bradley in the area where Rebecca's body was discovered led to their arrests, according to investigators. Wexford County Prosecutor Johanna Carey described the murder as evil personified at a court hearing, arguing against Courtney and Bradley being offered bail. Mr. Bartholomew brought Rebecca to their home. He and Courtney forced her into another vehicle and took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut her baby out, and ultimately caused her death and the death of the baby. They left Rebecca in the woods. That was the quote from the prosecutor. She called it a case of premeditated torture and murder. Allegedly, the Bartholomews created a plan and conducted research. Both face one count of first-degree murder, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillbirth, and conspiracy to commit assault on a pregnant individual causing miscarriage and stillbirth. Each of those 6 charges carries a possible life sentence in prison. They're also charged with 1 count each of unlawful imprisonment and removal of a dead body. So that's the base story. And what they believe is that, I'm telling you, in this case, this is horrible. This is her mother. And I know that she didn't raise her, but it's just disgusting. And I happen to find the probable cause affidavit, and it reads through. We can read a little bit of it. Let me find. Okay. People of the state of Michigan, Wexford County Sheriff's Office plaintiffs versus Bradley Allen Bartholomew, Courtney Marie Bartholomew. I've scratched out their birth dates. There's a lot of addresses in this, but all of these addresses have been on the news, on every news report, because it's either the scene of the crime or the scene of where she was found. So, and that's been public knowledge and announced quite a few times. So I'll get through as much of this as my voice can deal with. And whatnot, I can pick up tomorrow sometime. So, affidavit of probable cause. Affiant, a duly sworn police officer with the Wexford County Sheriff's Office, attests to the following facts based on personal investigation or swearing to the facts as presented by a fellow sworn deputy sheriff. To establish probable cause that the crime of homicide, first degree, premeditated, felony murder, torture, conspiracy to commit torture, assault of a pregnant individual, causing miscarriage or stillbirth, conspiracy to commit assault of a pregnant individual causing miscarriage or stillbirth, unlawful imprisonment, removing a dead body without the consent of the medical examiner, was committed by the defendant, and affiant is respectfully seeking a warrant for the defendant's arrest. Whew. That's a lot. On November 4th, 2025 at 12:44, Wexford County Central Dispatch received a call from Kimberly Sue Park reporting her sister Rebecca K. Park had not been seen since November 3rd, 2025. Approximately 23:30 in Boone Township of Wexford County, Deputy Reed began Wexford County Sheriff's Office incident report as a missing person investigation. At the time of the report, Rebecca Park was 38 weeks pregnant and living with her boyfriend, Richard Lee Fowler, at 15. I'll just skip over the address. Cedar Creek Township. Deputy Reed spoke with Courtney Marie Bartholomew, who is Rebecca Park's biological mother. Courtney reported that she was with Rebecca Park the prior night until approximately 8:30, when an unidentified friend picked Rebecca up from Courtney's residence. Courtney had picked Rebecca up from Blank Road to spend some time together and get ice cream from Culver's. On the way to Culver's, Rebecca told Courtney she needed Tide Pods. So Courtney returned to her address to get some Tide Pods for her. Courtney went to the residence, grabbed the Tide Pods, and came outside. When she came outside, Rebecca told her she was going to wait at the residence for a friend to pick her up. They waited a couple of minutes, and a black sedan with tinted windows pulled across the road from the residence. Rebecca proceeded across the road and got into the front passenger seat of the vehicle. Courtney did not know the specific make or model of the sedan or the number of occupants in the car. She could not tell if the driver was male or female. She said that after this, she did not see Rebecca again. Courtney reported Deputy Reed that she was contacted by Rebecca's fiance, Richard Failer, regarding her location later that night. Courtney informed Rich that she did not know where Rebecca was and that she had left with a friend. Courtney was contacted by Kimberly Park the morning of November 4th, 2025, and was sent a screenshot of the location where Rebecca Park's phone was pinging. Courtney told Deputy Reed that she proceeded down the road where she found Rebecca's phone lying by the 2-track just off West 26th. This location is less than 200 yards from Courtney's address. Courtney checked the phone and thought Rebecca may have dropped it when she was using the restroom. Courtney reported that she took the phone to Richard Failer's residence on Tuesday, November 4th, and turned it over to him. The sheriff's office issued a press release on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, identifying Rebecca Park as missing person. She has also entered into the law enforcement information network as missing. On Wednesday, November 5th, 2025, Detective Lieutenant Pisker met with Kimberly Park when she arrived at the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. Parks had suggested that she might know where Rebecca Park is when she arrived at the sheriff's office. When I asked her about this, she played me a voice message from Courtney Bartholomew that said Aria Clark had called her and said that 2 people in a car had pulled up to the Revival Center looking for Narcan, said that a pregnant woman that's missing got what she effing deserved. Courtney stated that it was Serena Roosh that said something to Rusty, Clark Aria's father. She also added, I guess it was an older guy that your sister left with. Excuse me. When I asked Kimberly if she knows where she is at, she answers the only older guy that Rebecca talks to is Stephen Belay and calls him a pervert. Parks believes that Belay drives a black sedan, adding, like Courtney said, he was contacted and did not appear to have had contact with Rebecca. During the interview with Kimberly, she showed Detective Lieutenant Pisker a Blue View brand Model 4 cellular telephone which says Rebecca Park's phone on the home screen. Rebecca Park reported that she had looked through the phone and observed the last communications on the phone, reporting a missed video call from Shannon14 at Gmail on Friday, October 3rd. The last text message was on Sunday. The last phone call was to Courtney Bartholomew on Sunday, November 2nd. Kimberly identified that Rebecca uses her phone regularly and daily because she did not see any communication on Monday, November 3rd. She suspects the records of phone activity on the 3rd have been deleted. Kimberly reported that Rebecca is known to regularly delete communication records from her cellular phone. Kimberly then played another voice message on her phone from Courtney Bartholomew, who can be heard explaining, okay, when Randy passed away, I was told that your sister had something to do with it. That would give Randy's family a murder revenge thing because she was involved when it came to Randy. On the message, Courtney suggested Stephen Belay is connected to Randy's family, so I would definitely be looking at them. When I asked Kimberly if she trusted Courtney, she responded, not really. On Thursday, November 6, 2025, Detective Pisker obtained a search warrant for the Blue View 4 cellular telephone that had been entered as property in the incident at item 54. The cellular device was submitted to the Michigan State Police Computer Crimes Unit on the same date. On Saturday, November 8th, members of All County Search and Rescue and Christian Aid Ministries searched and rescued with 36 personnel comprised of 5 teams searched the area where Rebecca Park was last seen and the area where her cellular telephone was recovered from. No additional evidence was identified. During this time, numerous tips and leads were coming in and were being actively investigated. However, none were located Rebecca Park. Due to reported activity on Rebecca's social media platforms, pen register search warrants were obtained and served on her known social media accounts. However, no outgoing use was ever identified. On 11/15/2025, Candace Freeman reported to Deputy Jacob Caponen that her sister, Courtney Bartholomew, had texted her on October 28th that she had given birth to a son and was asking Candace for items for the baby. Through a series of text messages, Courtney said that she had given birth at 28 weeks. The baby was in the NICU in Grand Rapids, and she had named the baby Ashton Lee Bartholomew. Courtney told Candace he's supposed to come home this coming week as long as he's doing good. Still, he will. On Monday, November 3rd, at 2025, Candace asked Courtney if she was able to bring the baby home, and Courtney told her no. He did a backslide, but still hoping this week. On November 3rd, Courtney sent Candace a text that reads, "My son passed away." On Tuesday, November 4th, Candace asked if it was because he wasn't strong enough or if he'd gotten sick. Courtney answered, "I don't know what happened. I just know he wasn't getting air," and added, "All I know is I watched my child die right in front of me." Candace asked if she was there when it happened, and Courtney answered, "Yes, I was." On Tuesday, November 4th, Courtney begins to discuss with Candace that Rebecca Park is missing. On Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, preservation's request for tower dump area search for the lower in the location, blah, 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 between the hours of 1900 and 2200 on November 3rd, 2025, were submitted to T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. Detective Lieutenant Pisker had contacted Courtney Bartholomew about another interview. Bartholomew was reluctant to come in, suggesting that Deputy Reed's interview with her had been thorough, but eventually agreed. On Tuesday, November 11th, Detective Pisker conducted a recorded interview with Courtney Bartholomew. And initially, some background on Courtney and her biological children raised by the Park family is established. Courtney then reports how Rebecca and Richard Failer were initially dating, that they broke up. A relationship between herself and Rich then commences. Courtney reports that she was planning to divorce Bradley. Courtney then became pregnant and was unsure who the father might be, Bradley or Richard. Because of this, she stopped her divorce approximately 2 weeks before the court date for the divorce. Courtney reports that Rich showed up at her house with the intention of shooting Bradley Bartholomew. After Courtney rejected Rich, he resumed his relationship with Rebecca Park. Courtney also reported that Rich had returned to her residence and raped her, forcefully causing her to have a miscarriage of the baby she was carrying. A report of this incident was made with the sheriff's office. However, Courtney said Rich was not charged. Courtney identified that she was concerned for Rebecca and was aware of how abusive and aggressive Richard Failer could be, and encouraged Rebecca to leave Rich. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked about things leading up to the weekend, Courtney reported on Kimberly and Rebecca coming over on Saturday, November 1st, to her residence. Courtney told Detective Lieutenant Pisker about giving envelopes to Kimberly and Rebecca. These envelopes were later reported by both Kimberly and Rebecca to have been empty. Courtney said that she was going to give Rebecca cash and didn't want Kimberly to feel left out, so she wanted Kimberly to set up an account so she could put money in an account for her. Courtney then reports having forgotten to give Rebecca some items for her baby while at the house, so she contacted Rebecca and then brought the items to her at Richard Failer's house Saturday night. Courtney then told Detective Lieutenant Pisker that on Sunday, November 2nd, she was supposed to pick Rebecca up to have milkshakes at Dairy Queen and get Rebecca laundry soap. These plans fell through when Rebecca went to Cadillac Munson Hospital as she thought she was in labor. Courtney reported that she and Bradley both visited Rebecca and Rich in the hospital that day. It was confirmed that Rebecca was not in labor, had only dilated to 1, and she was released from the hospital. Bartholomew drove Rebecca and Rich home from the hospital. Courtney said that when they arrived at Failer's, he was throwing their bags, and Rebecca had whispered to her that Rich had been acting like a real big ass mom. Courtney offered to take her home, and Rebecca requested that they just meet for milkshakes tomorrow, Monday, November 3rd, and talk. On Monday, November 3rd, Courtney said that she went to pick Rebecca up between 1830 and 1900 hours at Baylor's. Courtney reports that day Courtney reports that as they ride, Rebecca said she was tired, in which she confronted by telling her she looked stressed. She claimed that Rebecca was upset with Rich, identifying that he had been hounding her to obtain money to fix his truck. Courtney talked about how she encouraged Rebecca to leave Rich, but said Rebecca was afraid to leave him. Courtney said when they arrived at her house, she gave Rebecca an envelope with $2,000 cash in it, and they discussed Courtney throwing her a baby shower. She identified that Rebecca didn't want a baby shower because she was afraid that Children's Protective Services was going to take the baby. Courtney said that while they were talking, Rebecca was texting on her phone and mentioned possibly that she had 2 phones. Courtney said that she went into the house to get laundry soap, and when she came out, she said, "I noticed that she deleted something, but didn't know what it was or which phone it might have been on." Courtney said that she told Rebecca that she would take her back home, but Rebecca told her, hold on, she had someone coming to get her. Page 4. Courtney said that she pulled out of her driveway and a car came up behind her. She identified that she didn't ask Rebecca who it was out of fear she would push her away, but Rebecca had told her she would be back. Courtney said that the car had dark tinted windows. There was no plate on the car, but she could tell it was a Chevy. When questioned, that social media was reporting the car had the taillights of an Impala. Courtney confirmed she was the source of that information. Courtney talked about someone Rebecca knows who has a Chrysler 300, also having similar taillights. Bartholomew didn't follow the car, as she again said that it would upset Rebecca if she had. Oh, it's a mess. Just wait. Just wait. You don't even know. Oh my gosh. Like I said, not many things shock me, but this is, wow. It just is. This girl didn't have a chance. I mean, Courtney confirmed that Rebecca was texting while they were together. Her next contact with Rich was Tuesday morning, and she reported telling him that he had given Rebecca $2,000, or that she had given Rebecca $2,000. Courtney then said that Kimberly sent her the GPS location to Rebecca's phone, which she said she put into her phone, and it took her right to the phone. When I asked who went and got the phone, Courtney then identified who was identified as Bradley and herself. It is reported that Bradley found the phone, and he then handed it to Courtney. Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Courtney of an image she had sent to Rebecca of a check that was made out in her name for $18,000. She claimed that when her mother died, she was left money to do with what she pleased. Courtney confirmed that she sent an image of a check to Rebecca, but that she had not given the check to her. Courtney denied that there was a similar check made out to Kimberly. A statement that Courtney had tried to have this meeting prior had fallen through because she didn't have things in place that she needed to. Courtney said it was simply getting kids together at one time was what wasn't falling into place. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronts Courtney that the phone records for the phone that was found on the 2-track was not used to summon someone to pick her up, Courtney then identifies that there were possibly 2 other phones she uses. Courtney brings up the names of the other people she thinks may have been involved based on rumors, specifically that Mike and Ashley were supposed to help Rebecca get away from Failer. As Detective Lieutenant Pisker discussed phone locations records with Courtney, she confirms that she picked Rebecca up and came south to Mackinac Trail and turned west and continued out to her residence. Location data from Rebecca Park's phone supported this route of travel. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Courtney Bartholomew, she said she did not know where Rebecca Park was. When Courtney was asked if she had done anything to harm Rebecca Park, she again said she would not hurt her daughter. While discussing the pickup truck at her residence that was reported to never move but had been moved recently, Courtney reported it doesn't have seats in it, but said it was moved recently to make room to access the porch. Courtney said that Kimberly and Rebecca do not like Bradley Bartholomew. On Tuesday, November 11th, 2025, Detective Lieutenant Pisker conducted a recorded interview with Bradley Bartholomew. He confirmed his cellular telephone number. When asked about Rebecca Bradley's reported that they don't get along, he explained that is due to his criminal history. He described Rebecca and Courtney's relationship as rocky. Bradley said that he was not around on Monday when Rebecca was at the house. He identified he was at my place and described living in the woods near Harrietta and the fish hatchery. As Detective Lieutenant Pisker was attempting to confirm his presence there, Bradley said he was alone and that his phone was with Courtney as her phone was about to be shut off. This is page 5. The truck at the house was discussed and identified as not having moved in years. Bradley said that he had been driving the truck up until October 21st, 2025, when the license plate expired. When asked if the seats were out of the truck, Bradley confirmed that they had been. He explained a similar explanation that they were cleaning the truck up for Courtney's son, Bentley, to drive when he turned 16. When Bradley was asked when he found out Rebecca Park was missing, he identified it was Monday night or Tuesday morning. He again denied being at the residence. Bradley told Detective Lieutenant Pisker that on Tuesday, November 4th, Courtney Bartholomew was in town, and he was in the house with Bentley when Courtney texted him the location of where Rebecca's phone was. Bradley said that he refused to go there alone because I'm not being accused of anything, Bradley said when Courtney got home. They went out to look for the phone based on a ping that Kimberly Park had sent to Courtney. Bradley confirmed that he was the person who found Rebecca's cellular device on the 2-track, and he picked it up and handed it to Courtney. Bradley said he didn't know how Rebecca's phone ended up on the trail, but suggested that she had walked that trail in the past. On Monday, November 24th, 2025, Courtney Bartholomew came to the sheriff's office, and Detective Lieutenant Pisker began a recorded interview with her. There's discussion about the TikTok live conversations. I asked Courtney about a cellular device that a bounty hunter dropped off at the Clare County Police Department. She identified that this phone was provided by Kimberly. During this meeting, I asked Courtney about Kimberly's personal property in her vehicle. She confirmed that she was in possession of items that belonged to Kimberly. However, she didn't want to leave the items with me to return to Kimberly. On Monday, the 24th, 2025, Bradley Bartholomew was interviewed by Detective Lieutenant Tim Helm, can't read that very well, at the Michigan State Police Crime Lab in Grayling. During his interview, Bradley reported that he was trying to protect Kimberly Park. He said that Kimberly took Rebecca down a 2-track behind the house and stated, "I believe she's dead." Bradley Bartholomew said Detective Lieutenant Tim Halia that he was present during a dinner with Courtney Bartholomew, Rebecca Park, and Kimberly Park on Saturday, November 1st. During this time, Bradley said that Kimberly had a private conversation with him asking about the 2-tracks behind the house, and that Kimberly stated she needed to get Rebecca out of the picture. On Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, Wexford County Central Dispatch received a 911 call from a Courtney Letterman stating that she had found a body covered with leaves that looks gutted. The location of the body was approximately 2.5 miles west of Antioch Township, Wexford County, in Forest Service Road. Wexford County Deputy Jacob Caponen responded to the area, observed the remains, and reported the deceased female has a tattoo above the left eye. Caponen reported that the abdomen area of the body appears to have been cut open. The tattoo located above the left eye considered consistent with the driver's license of Rebecca K. Park. Michigan State Police Trooper Cody Campbell was inside the residence Tuesday, November 5th, securing the residence until the Michigan State Police Crime Lab personnel could search the home based on a search warrant that had been authorized on that date. While in the presence of Courtney Bartholomew and Bradley Bartholomew, Courtney and Bradley were discussing amongst themselves, loud enough for Trooper Campbell to hear. Courtney mentioned to Bradley that the seat cover from the F-150 in the driveway had recently been burned and disposed due to something having been spilled on it. A search warrant was served on T-Mobile for Bradley Bartholomew's known cellular, and records were produced. Let's go to the next page. Page 6. Further, these records show device movement and lingering in the areas consistent with where Bradley and Courtney reported recovering Rebecca Park's cellular device and where her body was discovered on November 25th, 2025. On several occasions on Monday, November 3rd, in the evening hours, these records take place after the records obtained from Rebecca Park's phone and network demonstrate her arriving in the area shortly after 1900. Cellbrite extraction location at the residence. That's her mother's house. Additionally, records from Rebecca Park's phone extraction show locations consistent with the reported locations of recovery of that device. No, they haven't found the baby yet, I don't believe. I haven't read through all of this. I read like the first couple pages. Yeah, no, they don't. And I don't know. It might come out in this. But it's just, I just can't believe this. This is where it gets into it. So, trigger warning. An autopsy was conducted at Western Michigan University by Dr. Christine James and was attended by Deputy Alexis Howard. There were 6 sharp force wounds in Park's back, 2 to the right upper arm, 1 to the left trapezius area, 2 to the neck, and at least 2 to the face. The right side of the face also had laceration and a regular wound to the cheek. Unknown etiology. The wounds to the neck are described as superficial and did not penetrate muscle or harm any vasculature. Most of the wounds to the torso are contained in soft tissue. One to the back enters the left pleural space, but misses the lung. One to the right side of the back enters the right pleural space and does penetrate the right upper lung lobe and caused a large pneumothorax. All vessels are intact. Rebecca Park's abdomen had incised wounds. The placenta was hanging from the open abdomen wound and was attached with the umbilical cord. The fetus was absent. The abdomen incision transcended the colon and the small bowel. This is her mother and her stepfather. I mean, they weren't really parents, granted, but let's see. Okay, on Sunday, November 30th, a second search warrant was obtained for Bradley and Courtney Bartholomew's residence. Search warrants to seize 2007 Ford Escape four-door SUV, red in color with a VIN and a temporary Michigan registration plate. Registered to Courtney Bartholomew, the 92 Ford F-150 pickup truck, white in color with Michigan registration, and have them towed to the Wexford County Sheriff's Office to be processed by Michigan State Police Laboratory. Technicians were also obtained. The search warrants were served, and Bradley and Courtney Bartholomew were both taken into custody and transferred to the Wexford County Sheriff's Office. On Sunday, November 30th, 2025, Detective Sergeant Hackman conducted a recorded interview with Bradley Bartholomew. There we go. So I had to get my screens all. Bradley was put on notice that Rebecca's death is a homicide, that this homicide investigation there, sorry, just center myself. Felt weird. Oh, no problem. This is a good listener. This is a good sit and listen for sure. I mean, not good, but it's eye-opening to this. This is just so horrible. Bradley was put on notice that Rebecca's death is a homicide, that this is a homicide investigation, that there can be, and that there can't be any more lies. Bradley read his Miranda rights from Wexford County. Miranda warning card to be confirmed. His understanding of the rights explained to him, and he agreed to speak with the detectives at the time. Bradley reported his knowledge that Courtney went to get Rebecca. They came to the house to get Tide Pods, and they were supposed to go get ice cream. Bradley said that he was at the house with Bentley. He admitted that he lied during his first interview about being at the residence because of his SO registry status. Now, see, that's another thing. All these guys in this story there's like 5 SOs that like these people hang out with, and it's just it's just horrible. Bradley is told that SOR violations are small in comparison to a homicide, and he says at that time he didn't know this was a homicide. He reported that Courtney had backed out of the driveway in his Ford Escape, and then she came back. He says that at that time He had no idea where Rebecca was. He said that he knew Courtney left with the white Ford and then came back. He reported that Courtney had told him that she and Rich were in the white Ford and that they had a disagreement and there was blood on the dash. Courtney asked Bradley to clean it up, but she reported that he went out, wiped it down. He said he didn't see any blood on the floor or on the seats, just blood spattered on the dash. He described that later there was white paint on the seats, and Courtney asked him to remove the seat covers, which he confirmed he did. He said he was unsure what she did with them, if they were thrown in the burn barrel or the trash. Next, he said, oh, just a second. My computer just freaked out. Okay. Next, he said that Courtney was talking to him about how she and Rich did something horrible, but she wouldn't tell. He claimed that once the story of Rebecca came out about her being missing, he began to put two and two together. Bradley reported that Courtney threatened that if he said anything, she'd make his life hell. Bradley identified that Courtney had tried to stab him with scissors in the past and charged with assault, but the case was dismissed. Bradley clarified that Courtney had told him about something bad happening 5 to 6 days after Rebecca was missing, but he claimed he wasn't sure what bad thing had been done. What the bad thing that had been done was. When asked about the story about the baby in the NICU at DeVos, Bradley identified that she was supposedly adopting a baby, but he didn't see how she could due to his status as an SOR. Bradley said that Courtney was alone when she got into the white Ford and left, and she returned approximately 15 minutes later. He stated that she had sent a text to Courtney to see if she needed him to come outside for anything, and she responded in the affirmative. It was now that he said that Courtney reported getting into a fight with Rich. Bradley said he never observed Rich on this date and that he did not observe any injury to Courtney. Returning to the something bad topic, Bradley was asked to continue that topic. He identified Courtney as all over TikTok and that Kimberly was over to use the escape to deliver newspapers. He confirmed that Kimberly left personal items in the escape and identified she did that all the time. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked about anything else Bradley wanted known before drilling down questions began, he said that Courtney was constantly talking to Rich. He agreed that she was also constantly talking to Kimberly. He reported he can't hear the conversations as they were all taking place by text. He only knows it's them because he sees their names on her phone. Bradley is then confronted with records from carriers, specifically T-Mobile and Verizon. He was asked about Courtney's phone and that she had previously said that she was no longer going to have service. Bradley identified that she had service restored but was aware that she had conducted a factory reset on the phone. He was notified that a factory reset does not prevent access to records that are maintained by the carrier. Oops. Once it's in text, it's forever. Bradley said that he had Courtney's phone on Monday, November 3rd, 2025. It's pointed out that there are phone calls between both the phone he uses and the one that Courtney uses while Rebecca is at the house. He passes these as simple calls checking on her comings and goings. He reports that he hasn't driven the truck since he parked it and that it only had enough gas to get to the gas station. Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted Bradley's statement about the blood in the truck, confirming his knowledge that the truck has been seized, identifying if there is any blood of Rebecca found in the truck, there will be a big problem. Bradley is confronted if he thought Courtney had been lying to him about what went on, and he says he does, he suggests he can't see Courtney and Rich being together like that as they haven't talked in over 2 years. Bradley confirmed there was no $18,000 checks. He did not know why Courtney sent images of the checks. He did say that he spoke with Kimberly on Saturday, November 1st, after their dinner that night had ended. He said she was asking about the 2 tracks behind the house. He denied that Kimberly told him that she needed to get Rebecca out of the picture. He identified that Kimberly had said this to Rich Fisher, who he identified as Courtney's cousin. Detective Sergeant Hackman confronted that this is not what Rich told him when he interviewed him personally. Bradley reported that Kimberly is jealous of Rebecca and that he is aware that Kimberly has had a relationship with Rich in the past. Bradley reported being upset when Kimberly was on the internet saying that he and Courtney were responsible, making a statement that he doesn't understand how anyone could do that to a pregnant woman. He answered that he believes that Courtney and Rich would be capable of doing something such as this. When asked for what purpose, he gave different possibilities. Bradley agreed that he believes that Courtney is capable of slicing her own flesh and blood and taking the baby. Agreed that Courtney is obsessed with wanting another baby in her care and custody. He also agreed that it was a good possibility that she could attack Rebecca and take the baby out of her. Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked if he remembered the Sunday that Rebecca was in the hospital. Courtney saying or texting, "Don't you dare have this baby in the hospital." And Bradley remembered somebody saying it, but not who was saying it. Bradley confirmed going to Fayler's house on Sunday to take the gifts to Rebecca and Courtney. Forgot to give her at the house earlier that day. While discussing being upset that Kimberly had accused him of being involved, Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked why he hadn't called him, and Bradley said that Courtney had threatened him, that she didn't want him involved. His explanation was that she doesn't want to get incriminated or himself incriminated. Bradley began to say that he thinks that Courtney has more to do with it than what she wants to claim. He said that all the evidence is pointing to her. He suggests that he believes all the evidence would be in the white Ford. The blood he observed inside the truck is discussed and described. Bradley said he removed the original seat covering about a week and a half after Rebecca went missing because it got white paint on it. When asked what he thought happened, Bradley responded he thought Courtney was jealous of Rebecca. He agrees that Courtney would like to have another child. He also thinks that Rich wants to get back into a relationship with Courtney. Bradley agrees that he thinks that Courtney could point the finger at him as possibly responsible when we interview him. When Bradley is confronted with Courtney being in possession of the cellular device with this number, when she began to pick up Rebecca, he claims he can't say she possessed it, but it was there at the house and he had to call her. He then confirms that Courtney did not have that phone when she went to Fayler's to pick up Rebecca. He reported that she got that phone when she came back from getting the white Ford. Let me take a drink. This page and one more page for tonight, then there's about 8 pages left. I'll read that tomorrow. Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked Bradley what else he wanted us to know about. He told us that Courtney had scalpels in her bedside stand, describing them as disposable scalpels for lancing cellulitis. Bradley doesn't remember going anywhere on the morning of Tuesday, November 4th, other than to Fayler's to give him Rebecca's phone. Bradley confirmed that he had come to the hospital on Sunday, November 2nd, to bring Courtney her wheelchair, and that he was driving the white Ford pickup truck while Courtney was there with the Ford Escape. He did not ride back to Manton with Courtney when she drove Rebecca and Richard home. Bradley begins to show some emotion about the possible outcome of this investigation. Bradley is given a break at this point in the interview. On Sunday, November 30th, Detective Lieutenant Pisker and Sergeant Voss conducted a recorded interview with Courtney Bartholomew. Courtney was read her Miranda rights from the Wexford County Miranda warning card, and she confirmed her understanding of the rights, explained to her, and she agreed to speak with the detectives at the time. Courtney identified that at dinner at her house on Saturday, November 1st, it was herself, Rebecca, Kimberly, Bentley, and that Brad was hiding in the truck. Detective Lieutenant Pisker notified Courtney that this is a homicide investigation, the lies must stop, and if she lies more, charges can be brought. Courtney reported that Bradley is hiding in the truck because the girls won't come in if he's around because they don't like him. She reported that the dinner ended around 1930. The next thing that happens was she called Rebecca about the items she forgot to get her, and she and Bradley went to Failer's to drop the items off. At the time, they were in the Ford Escape. On Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, she was supposed to pick Rebecca up and waited around until about 1830, and Rebecca called to say that she was on her way to the hospital. She described the events at the hospital as she had previously. Bradley brought Courtney her wheelchair to the hospital. Bradley was driving the white F-150, and she explained how he stopped at the Meyer gas station to get gas for the truck while she drove Rebecca and Richard home. Courtney wanted to know if Bradley could hear her, and she was told he could not. She reported talking to Rebecca Sunday night about getting shakes on Monday. She said that Rebecca asked her about the $2,000 and said that Rich was upset about something. Courtney confirmed the trip to Failer's house on Saturday after dinner to drop the items off for Rebecca. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked Courtney why she wanted to know if Bradley could hear her, she suggested the need to back up, saying she thinks she needs immunity. Detective Lieutenant Pisker notified Courtney that the prosecutor is the person who can give immunity. Courtney suggests that we get the prosecutor here, and Detective Lieutenant Pisker says she will want to know what she has. Courtney said she will give us where the knife is and where the baby is. She will give it all to us. Oh, wow. Nice mom. Huh. I'll help you solve my daughter's murder as long as you give me immunity. But if not, it's all about me. If not, sorry, no deal. How disgusting can you be? When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronts Courtney that she has guilty knowledge, she responded that she has been threatened. Her child has been threatened, her home has been threatened, and she is done. Courtney renews her request for immunity and then asked for a witness protection. Detective Sergeant Voss explains, we cannot offer immunity. Poor Courtney. He's so scared. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asks Courtney if the baby is alive, she shakes her head in the negative. Detective Sergeant Voss asks Courtney about her prior statement, and Bradley hides in the truck. He asked her where he hides, and she identified in the cab. She describes it as a single cab truck, and he lays on the seat. Courtney reported that Bradley had put $15 worth of gas in the truck when he was at Meyer on Sunday night. Courtney asked if Bradley confessed, and Detective Sergeant Voss reported, he told us a lot of stuff. Courtney confirms that Bradley is using the phone. She confirms that he had the phone on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday that Rebecca disappeared. She said her phone was taken Monday night and that she was told to go back in the house. Courtney said her phone was taken about 20-30 hours. She renewed her request to contact the prosecutor. Detective Sergeant Voss again told her, "We need to know what she knows to take it to the prosecutor." When he suggests an example that she will even tell us where the baby is, she interrupts and says, "In the garbage, in a blue cooler." When asked where, she reported, "In the GFL." Courtney says, "He said he put him in a black bag. The cooler's gone. The cooler is Brad's work cooler," adding, "He put him inside the cooler and drove him up and down the road looking for a GFI that wasn't mine." When Detective Sergeant Voss asked why, Courtney reported that it was related to Bradley going to jail last year when Baylor turned him in. She explained that it was all retaliation. She identified the night when they went home after their last interview. She confronted him about She confronted him about his examination and his failure. Detective Sergeant Voss asked Courtney which vehicle he used to get rid of the body, and she identified her white truck. She is then asked how he got her in a position to kill her. She explained how she pulled into her driveway. She had notified him she was on their road. She explained that she got into the house and talked to Rebecca for a few minutes, and Bradley walked up and pulled her out and said, "I want to talk to you." Courtney described that the white truck was sitting out by the road and explained that she didn't think anything of it. Brad was supposed to be her stepdad. Yeah. Courtney wanted to know where they were going, and Brad told her to take her ass in the house on and don't worry about it. She said she went into the house because she didn't think he would hurt her. Brad is reported to have returned to the house about 22:30 and told her that he had taken Rebecca home. Courtney confronted him that he had not, and he told her he had and that she would call her in the morning. Courtney asked him for her phone, which she reported he told her was in the shed, and he went to go get it. She said when he came back in the home, he said, "Yeah, she didn't go home," instead telling Courtney that he had took her to a house, but when she asked him to take her there, he just told her that Rebecca said to him that she didn't want anything to do with her, meaning Courtney, anymore. Courtney reported calling Rich to tell him to call her back ASAP, and that while Brad was watching her, she told Rich that, "Dude, your old lady left with some guy," or Bradley would backhand her. Courtney confirmed for Detective Lieutenant Pisker that the story about the black car was made up and never happened. Asking her to continue, she reported Kimberly sending her coordinates to Rebecca's phone and asking Bradley why her daughter's phone would be across the road, and his response was, "I don't effing know." She asked Bradley to take her to the phone and said he took her right to it. She said that the phone was exactly where the coordinates is. She said it was out in the open and it appeared that someone had just set it down. They took the phone directly to Rich's, but before their arrival, she said that Bradley told her, "I'm telling you right now, do not say a word." Kimberly got the phone from Rich, and Courtney reported that Kimberly had called her and said she was taking the phone to the cops. She said Kimberly called her at 2100 hours on Tuesday night to tell her this. When asked to continue, Courtney identified that in her second to last drawer in her bedstand, she has razor knives and that she uses to nick open her cellulites. Blah. So they will drain. Gross. She reported that one was gone. I'll read this first paragraph on the next page. I'm When asked to continue, let's see, okay. She reported that one was gone, which she said she knew because she counted them due to a teenage boy living in her house. Courtney agreed that knives are like scalpels. When she confronted Bradley about the missing knife, he answered he didn't say. She answered he didn't say anything. Then Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronted her that her use of the word them means he must have said something later, and she reported it. It was after her body was found. Okay, so there are about 7 pages more to this. And oh, yeah, this is just, I mean, the one person in the world you're supposed to be able to trust. And she set this all up. Now I'm gonna be interested when we read the rest of this tomorrow, to see what the theory is and who did what. Because that's another little detail, is that this mother, she's missing one leg. And in all the pictures I've seen of her, she doesn't wear a prosthetic or a prosthesis. So, I don't know. Oh, exactly. I mean, this is just, I've never heard something so just flat out evil. And I've been reading a lot of stuff on the Facebook groups and Reddit, and this is stuff from their local area, their town, people that know them around town, etc. I mean, it's just a lot of gossip and a lot of rumors, but these people are known, and it's not in a good way. And it's just sad. I mean, I do know there was talk about Rebecca, being worried about losing this baby. Her adoptive mother had custody of her other 2 children. This girl was 21 years old. But by the accounts of her friends, she and this fiance, whatever their past is, were really, really trying to, it sounded like, and I don't know if this is true, but according to the friends, trying to get their stuff together, that they really were in love, and they were going to have a baby, and they were very happy about it, and they were working on their future, on getting married and getting a home, a house, things like that. So yeah, just twisted. But the other reports of these people are just swimming in rugs. I mean, their brain's not thinking right. I've never done something so heavy that has made me be okay with anything like this. So I just can't imagine what in the world they could have possibly been on that would have made them, or made her, do this to her own daughter, to not protect her own daughter. I don't know. It's sick. It's sick, sick, sick. So, but now hopefully we have a snow day tomorrow in Michigan. We've got this big storm coming across, and we're supposed to get, reports are anywhere from 1 inch to like 5 to 6 inches. So that's great. Nothing so far. My oldest has had me And he's been checking the closings list on our local news every 5 seconds, hoping, praying. So if you say prayers before you go to bed, prayers that Michigan gets a snow day tomorrow, because my son already has his entire day planned of what he's going to do. He's going to be so disappointed if it doesn't work out. So I kind of am too. I'm kind of down for a snow day. I love those days where it's okay to stay home and not go anywhere and just, get up, take a shower, and just put clean PJs on and you're good to go. So we got some cookies to bake if everybody's home and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I will, at some time tomorrow morning, hopefully read. We've got pages, 11 through 17, because 18 is just the signatures of everybody. So yes, please. But not enough snow that it's not too hard to shovel because our snowblower's broken. Or I'm sorry, I got corrected the other day by the men of the house. It's a snow thrower. Whatever. I can't use it. It's self-propelled, and I end up looking like I'm flying behind it like Superman trying to go around the driveway, even in first gear. So, but it's broken right now. So it's back to Generation X, snow shovels, boots, and hot cocoa. So it'll be interesting tomorrow. So yeah, so hopefully we get that. And I do have more things to add to the website. Let me just give one more click on that before. Are you gonna work? Come on. Oh, I see. There we go. Okay. Just one more last little reminder. I've got lots of stuff on sale. I'm going to be putting some more stuff. I've got some accessories like files. I ship to anywhere within the continental United States. I'm figuring out other places and other shipping right now. And I'm going to be working out some cute little, I'm got some accessories and some cute little, snowman pails. So I'm going to try and get some of those together, for some cute little stocking stuffers, stuff like that. But, so I've got some self-care accessories to go up on the website still. And hopefully by February, I also have a line of foot soak and foot scrubs that I have created. And I absolutely love them. I also have, which I'm going to try and do that tonight or tomorrow, I've got a really great blend of cuticle oil on there. It is jojoba oil, rose hips oil, and vitamin E. And it is, oh my gosh, it heals almost anything, even dry spots on your skin. And there are the scents that I have a fresh rose. I have Love Spell, if anybody remembers that from Victoria's Secret. And it's kind of fruity and citrusy. It reminds me of kind of peach and strawberry and maybe a little bit of orange. It's a real nice, fresh, clean smell. And then the third scent it's called Relief. And what it is it's peppermint, eucalyptus, and sage. And it's all in, again, that jojoba, rose hips oil, and vitamin E carrier base. And it is great, not only for, hot, tired feet, cuticles, things like that, but it's also really good. I learned last year that how I ended up making it was I got really sick with a sinus infection and I was coughing and I couldn't breathe at night. And in the middle of the night, I mixed up some of this oil and I put a couple dabs on my sinuses and under my nose. And, within 5 minutes, my sinuses cleared. I quit coughing. And it smells better than Vicks, and it leaves a nice kind of clean, after it all kind of dissipates. So keep that in mind. I've got cuticle nail oil pens. I've got little brush bottles and little dabber bottles that I will be putting up on the website. But the scrubs and the soaks hopefully will be ready for mass production, which means basically I sold a lot of them at the farmers markets that I was working this summer. And so I need to make all new batches, but I'm going to do that and hopefully have some cute little self-care pedicure packages for Valentine's Day. So, all right. Well, whether you are watching live or catching me on the replay, again, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe. It helps get me out in that algorithm, and it helps more people see me, more views, more everything. And the more of that I get, the more I can offer you. Like I said, I'd like to get to 500 subscribers by January 1st, if I can. I'm almost there. I'm so close. Once I do that, I can offer memberships, which means I can offer members only lives, discounts for members for the website, for different products, things like that. Early announcement for sales, for crime stories, things like that. So yeah. So said, yeah, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And other than that, I hope everybody has a great night, has a nice warm sleepy bed to go lay in, or with Miss Hunty, a nice warm dinner made by someone else and cleaned up by someone else, because that's the best. And I will see you all on the flip side. So thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great night. I'll see you later. Peace out.